This is the Parental Alienation Speaks podcast. I'm Cheryl Mefford. Rewriting history is a powerful weapon of an alienating parent. Dr. Warshak writes, "Communist rulers in the Soviet Union were masters at propaganda. When it came time to convince the populace that a formerly revered leader was really a scoundrel, they knew the job required more than implanting false beliefs about the target. Their corruption of reality had to reach back in time. So, they simply rewrote history." Brainwashing parents follow the same principle. They revise history to obliterate positive memories of the target parent. A father tells his children that their mother was always more interested in her work than in them, even though she only began working outside the home after the divorce. A mother transforms a couple's getaway vacation into that time when daddy insisted that he and I leave you for a week. But how does an alienating parent accomplish rewriting history with a child that once had a loving relationship with a parent? According to research, there are two types of false memories. Spontaneous false memories, which are those that are created without any external pressure, and suggestion-induced false memories that are created through misinformation. The inclusion of post-event misinformation into a person's memory is known as the misinformation effect. It has three phases. Number 1, an experienced or witnessed event. Number 2, false information after the event. Number 3, follow-up to make sure the misinformation has taken hold. This is how those incredible family memories are turned into near-death experiences. Propaganda can take many forms. Here are a few examples. Number 1, exaggeration. Dr. Warshak writes, "Many times parents will actually depart from reality by exaggerating the target parent's behavior. For instance, an innocent tickle fight turns into a violent attack by the target parent. When combined with repetition and selective attention, which I covered in another video, this strategy can be difficult to counter. Repetition increases the likelihood that the exaggerations will be accepted as true accounts." Number 2, lies. Dr. Warshak writes, "Selective attention, context dropping, and exaggeration are generally sufficient to smear a target parent or grandparent. But when more is needed, the next step is a further departure from reality, outright lying. Sometimes the lies are gross distortions of actual events. Other times they are manufactured totally out of thin air." One father distorted an actual event when he successfully convinced his children that their mother had kidnapped them. In reality, she had been granted temporary custody and took the children on vacation. But afterwards, their father programmed them to regard the experience as a frightening ordeal in which they were kept incommunicado from him. Periodically, he reinforced the program with reminders such as, "Remember the time when mommy kidnapped you and you didn't know if you would ever see me again?" The children not only quote-unquote remembered, they embellished the incident with their own details. This is a dramatic example of how a parent can alter children's perceptions and memories. Number 3, withholding information. In addition to allegations of bad behavior, lies take the form of denying and concealing the rejected parent's good behavior. Birthday cards and gifts intended for the children are intercepted by the alienating parent and returned unopened without the children's knowledge. The children never learn that their rejected parent provides ongoing financial support. They are kept in the dark about the rejected parent's numerous efforts to contact them. Phone calls are screened. Voicemail is deleted. The alienating parent may even tell the children that the other parent has lost interest in them. The net result is that the children receive no sign of the other parent's love and caring. They feel abandoned. This makes it even more difficult for them to approach the rejected parent in the future. Here are 4 tips to combat these tactics. Number 1, exercise self-restraint. When you know that your ex wants you to look bad, don't make it easy. Expect no mercy when you are the target of a hate campaign. When you give in to anger and frustration, your behavior will be taken out of context and will provide ammunition for a campaign of hate. Your ex will put a spotlight on your mistakes, claim that this is typical of your behavior, and cite this as the reason for your children's alienation. Number 2, expect past deficiencies to be taken out of context. Dr. Warshak writes, if you are the victim of a hate campaign, expect your past deficiencies as a parent to be taken out of context, attended to selectively, and exaggerated. Though these past errors do not justify your children's total rejection, the sensible response is to do everything possible to improve your skills as a parent. When the children are finally reunited with you, let them experience you not as you were before, but better. Why? The more your behavior differs from what the children have been programmed to expect, the easier it will be for them to recognize that they have judged you wrongly. Number 3, challenge lies immediately. Lies should be challenged as soon as possible because the repetition of lies creates false memories in children that are difficult to erase. When your children have been told lies about you, invite them to think for themselves. Are the allegations consistent with what they know about you to behave? It may be best to have another trusted person correct the distortions rather than attempt to do it yourself. Number 4, withhold proof until it's time. Don't squander valuable opportunities by naively assuming that brainwashing will be reversed by the simple presentation of reality. When you have strong evidence that a child's view of the past is distorted, withhold the evidence until there is a good chance that your child will be open to considering it, rather than reject it out of hand. It is best to use a therapist's assistance with this process. With correct timing, the evidence can be a potent antidote to divorce poison. With poor timing, you will encounter the brick wall resistance of a mind closed to reality and reason, and you will have wasted an important weapon in the battle against alienation. Pick up your copy of Divorce Poison today to learn how to combat a toxic, poisonous ex. If you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel, and go to ParentalAlienationSpeaks.com to learn more about our story. I'm Cheryl Mefford, and I'm fighting for childhoods.